everyone, it's Lulu. How are you? Hope everything's great. So before I get started on this video, I have a couple of disclaimers, and it drives me crazy when people make disclaimers, but oh well. I have had dental work, so I'm slurring a little. Apologize about that. Every once in a while I get a sharp pain, so you might see me cringe. I'm not great at editing, but if I can, I will edit it out. Banks is with me, and he is making noise. Sorry about that. And he is making noise. And I've tried trading toys. I've tried everything. I've probably been waiting an hour to make this video. So you hear him chewing, and hopefully he will find something not quite as loud. He's gnawing a beef bone right now. Shank bone, whatever they're called. Oh, and he's getting louder. Today is a collab video, and I was invited to do this collab by Leah Graham. I'm gonna try one more time, hold on. Oh, maybe it's better. Okay, Leah is someone that I met, I do not recall if it was on YouTube, and someone mentioned her, and then I went to her, or if it was on Facebook, but we are now Facebook and YouTube friends, years ago. She lives down in Texas, much younger than I am. And she had been making videos relatively regularly, and then she stopped. Her son started school. He has special needs, and she just did everything she could to get him acclimated, to get him ready. I'm sure there were many moments that were difficult and challenging for her and for him and for everyone. But she is they're all settling in now, and she's kind of making videos a little more frequently. So her link is below. I really do hope you check her out. She is sweet, salt of the earth, and would really like her to get on a roll, start making more videos again. She selected the topic of face products, complexion products. I chose to do this by looking through my diary of purchases for the year. I keep a diary of purchases by month, and like this is March. And instead of picking my favorites, because you all know I buy a lot of makeup, I own a lot of makeup, I buy high-end, I buy luxury, I buy drugstore, I buy discount. I'm an equal opportunity makeup shopper. So what I did, and it's quite honestly is easier than going through all of my 7,000 face products, is I looked at my purchase diary and I said, that month, what were the best face products that I bought that month? I may have bought 12 face products, but of the 12, which are the ones that I kind of say, those were pretty good. They're not that they were new to me necessarily, or new to the market, or new to you. Maybe it was a repurchase, maybe I wanted it in a different color, but favorite or best is best. So I'm going to start with January, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not swatching, I'm not showing, because it would have taken forever. It's 8 o'clock at night. I've been trying to do this since 7 because of banks, and I work today, and so I'm doing the very best I can be doing. And here we go. January, e.l.f. HD Finishing Powder. If you need to get this. At this price point, you need to get this. It rivals every single one of my high-end luxury drugstore. You'll see there's a lot of, I'm surprised how much drugstore there was that really came to the top in terms of purchases. This is a gorgeous finishing powder. Buttery, silky, like velvet. Never looks powdery on your skin. You could be standing in bright sunlight and it just makes your skin look smooth. I think this is just a must-have, and the packaging is pretty on this one. It's a beautiful silver. It's really nice. And the next 2 items in January that kind of, as I look at my January list and all the complexion products, I see a lot of fails. But what I really loved was the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I have been buying this since it launched. This was a repurchase. This was in sand. I like it so much, I think I have it in 4 colors, and I believe they just expanded their color line just this month, last month. Love it, love it. The other one is the Maybelline Dream Cushion. Now I know for drugstore all the cushion foundations are expensive. you know, I use a brush. It gives me an almost flawless finish. It is medium finish, maybe even on the light side of medium. It's probably buildable. I don't like full coverage, so I've not really tried building it. It's just pretty and smooth and easy and fast and not messy at all. You put your brush, you know, it's just fast. And really, I like it. And I got that in the color 40. So in January, as I look at my list, again, other, you know, CoverGirl Outlast, Estee Lauder blushes, many things that would fit into the complexion category, but those are the ones I look at and I go, you know, I kind of really, those are the ones that stood up for January. So let's move on to February. February, another drugstore foundation. Of all the things that I bought in February, and again, all kinds of things. I've got Boots, and I've got Bare Minerals, and I've got Guerlain, and all kinds. But the two things that stood out in February as I look at these purchases was the Wet n Wild Photo Finish Foundation. I've heard this on many lists as a favorite in 2017. I have this in 3 colors, maybe 4. Some people say it smells like paint. I just smell ingredients. Whatever the smell is, it goes, or scent goes, it goes away quickly. Blends beautifully. Medium to medium full coverage. A really, for drugstore, a good selection of colors. And depending on where your color is, the price is so inexpensive, you really could buy 2 and blend them. No, you can't test them in the drugstore, but everybody, you know, Walgreens, CVS, Target, Ulta, they all take returns, even if you've used it. So it still is. It's a lovely foundation. It's probably in my top 10 of rotations. And the other one, and this is the only product that I brought that I actually brought, not to swatch, but this is, it launched in February. It was limited edition by Lancome, and it was the Rose de Mai highlighter. I've never used it. It is simply so beautiful. This is rose gold. This is pink. I don't know. It's a pale pink. So do I know if it's a favored complexion? I don't know, but it was definitely, I think of everything I bought in February, this is my favorite purchase. So pretty. So that is definitely a February favorite. All right, so of all the things I bought in March was a big shopping month for me. I selected, for drugstore, the 3 things I happened to select. I didn't limit myself to how many I selected. I just looked at the list and said, which complexion products, now that I'm looking at them, like, I really liked. Flower Beauty BB Cream. My Walmart still has Flower. I know that it has recently launched on Ulta, online only. If you have oily skin, this is not for dry skin. You may even want to question this on mature skin. This is foundation coverage. I'm going to say almost full. It's not a dead matte, but it's pretty matte. If you have oily to very oily skin, you see if you can find a color match. I had to buy 2. I bought BB2 and BB3, and as I recall, BB2 is a much better match. So they run dark. You know, I think there's 4 colors. They run dark. Worth every penny if you have oily skin, even to use it as maybe a very light layer as your primer if you have oily skin, and it'll give you coverage if you have a lot to cover, and then use whatever foundation. It's a real sleeper product. And the other thing that I really liked, I was buying Flower Beauty, I guess. They have a palette of, is that the word palette? It's a trio of highlighters. Nice sheen, not chunks of glitter, nice normal colors, no flashes of blue and flashes of turquoise and lime green. You can just run your brush through all 3 or dip. Nice price range, up there with the best, up there with Becca. Very nice, very nice. And finally, we have one mid or high end, depending on what you consider. Tarte Shape Tape launched, and I bought Tarte Shape Tape in March of 2017. Ouch. And by far, as I'm looking at all my purchases, certainly that stands out. Lorac highlighter stood out. There's a lot of things that, some Makeup Revolution things. Again, Estee Lauder blushes, they were all great, but the 3 things this month that I said, you know what, these are I can highly recommend, was the Flower BB to oily skin. the highlighting trio for anyone. And then the Tarte Shape Tape. Is that on like everyone's list? I don't have an issue with it. I have very dry under eyes. It doesn't crease on me. It doesn't make me look even drier, and I am Sahara dry. I will tell you, every time I use concealer, any concealer, it doesn't matter. This is just part of my morning makeup routine. When I am done, I take a little bit of my eye cream and I pat under so that there's eye cream under the concealer and there's now eye cream over the concealer. I don't move anything. I just very lightly pat, and sometimes I even do that during the day if it's starting to get really dry. April was not such a good shopping month, at least for me. For many, this would be a very good shopping month. And I didn't have anything that really stood out in the complexion department. So what stood out in May that I bought? And I must have been on a Maybelline roll. Maybelline Dream Wonder Powder. This was, I bought another color. I have this in several colors, and I bought it in another color. I think I've talked about this other times on my channel, and it goes on silky, does not sit on the skin. You don't see powder on your skin, smooths out the pores, smooths out the texture, has a good selection of colors, has a little bit of coverage. So if you like a little extra coverage over your foundation, not just a setting or finishing powder, but you actually like a little coverage when you're setting your foundation, this is a good choice. Spectacular. And that's the only complexion product that I chose for May. I'm trying to see what else I didn't choose. Oh, yeah, oof, that was bad. Never mind. We don't need to, that's not what this is about. June was a really big shopping month. And I think the only thing that stood out, I mean, it was a really big shopping month. A lot of and even fails, but the one that stood out was, I think that it launched then, was the CoverGirl Vitalist Foundation. This is if you have mature skin, very nice. It's not dewy, it's not luminous, it's a nice satin finish. I feel like it is hydrating. Yes, with oily skin, I have to blot, I have to set, but it's hard at my age because I have to fight the fact that I have maturing skin and I have oily skin. Which one's going to win? As they say, you can't have two masters. And I like foundations that are better that will look good on my mature skin. I can always blot. There's things I can do about the oil, or you just live with it after a while. It's a really great. I have two colors because I have to mix. I always have the hardest time with CoverGirl foundation colors. They're usually too pink, but these are actually on the warm side. I had to mix two to get a really good match, and it was worth it for me because it very nice. All right, now what are we on to? July, I didn't have any complexion, bought complexion products, but none of them were like, oh, I think I need to tell my friends about it. I need to put this in my collab with Leah. All right, now we're on to August. Lottie, L-O-T-T-I-E, is online only at Ulta. You don't hear a lot about it because all the biggies are probably not getting PR boxes. What a shame. Poor. But Lottie is a line online at Ulta, and they have a foundation called Selfie Ready Mattifying Liquid Foundation. It is not matte. It's a natural satin finish, sits beautifully on my mature skin, and does great with my oily skin. It is very forgiving. I bought it in golden. For me, that is virtually a perfect match, which is unbelievable considering I can't even look at it in a store, and happy with it. Comes in a tube, squeezed tube, so nice and neat. Very nice. So that was August. And also in August, Tarte came out with their big book of blushes. It's a big circle. There's a similar smaller one that comes out during the holidays. This is bigger. It slides out, and both halves have blushes and highlighters on them. I think that's the best thing Tarte does. It's a one and done. You can mix colors, you can take your brush and roll it around, you can match most anything. Tarte blushes, to me, are the same quality in their palettes as they are individually. Sometimes companies just don't translate well when they go to these palettes. Tarte does, and very happy with it. And that was a great purchase in August for my skin. And YSL All Hours Full Coverage Foundation. I bought it in BD, 45B, boy, D, door, or Dore, gold, BD, 45 Warm Bisque. For me, it is a wonderful. I think if you have dry skin, this is not going to be wonderful on you. I apply this with a beauty blender. Last all day. This is a great, perfect color match for me. Everything about this foundation is good on me with the beauty blender. And I remember trying it with my fingers, and that was not so good. I just don't remember how I tried it with, I just automatically use a beauty blender with it. And I'm very, very happy with that foundation. And for August, I think those were the three that stood out. Nothing stood out in September. October, Catrice HD Liquid Foundation. Very few colors, online only. The Sand Beige 030 is a perfect match for me. I know that this was compared, and I don't know who's, who, how, why, but it was compared with some high-end foundation, which I know that I own and I bought probably in the same month. Maybe it was Fenty. I didn't see that. I don't. Now, I own a lot of foundations, granted. I own, 50, 60, 70, 80, I don't know. I don't know why they were compared. I think maybe the ingredient list was the same. I think the Catrice is more like my Maybelline that I liked. I don't know. Anyway, probably my top 10. This Catrice foundation is probably in my top 10 rotation. Again, and I have a lot of foundations. That was fabulous. The Sun Wash Diffusing Bronzer by NARS. I have it in Laguna, and I bought it again in Casino. It is sheer. You can't overdo it. If you're looking for something you can really cut with, or really, this probably is not the one. I think this is one of the best things NARS launched, is this diffused bronzer, and it's a lovely finish. It's not matte, it's not luminous, there's no sparkle, there's no sheen. I don't know what does that leave, but it's not flat, and again, you never see it sitting on the skin. The other one that was a runner-up when I was looking through this is Bare Minerals has Invisible Something Bronzer. That's another nice one, very comparable to the NARS and maybe a little bit better of a price point. And let's see, what else happened in October? I think, oh, and Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion. Again, this has made it into my top 10. I am 3N1 buff. It's a perfect color match for me. I love this foundation. It comes in a pump. It's a little thicker. I always use a beauty blender with it. I imagine a brush will give you a fuller coverage. This was a knock it out of the park foundation for me, the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion. And then we go on to, I think nothing came up in oh, the Too Faced. This is the other knock it out of the park. It's a loose setting powder. I'm sure you've heard about it. It's the Too Faced Peach Perfect. Finely milled. It really is translucent on me. I have many translucent powders, and I know I appear lighter than I am on camera, but I'm a true as medium as medium as can be. This is, too many of them leave me looking white. Not white, just they take me up a shade, so then everything is off because I matched. Now I don't match because it's too light. This one is truly a translucent powder on my skin tone of medium. Somebody had suggested Beauty Bakery to me, which is kind of an up-and-coming indie brand, and I have it. Everything kind of has a bakery theme, so I think this is called the Flour, like Flour setting powder. And it's ever so slightly tinted, I don't remember. But on me, it brightens me a little too much on my skin tone. This is a gorgeous setting powder. It has a slight peach scent, not fake peach, and not the juicy, side of the road Atlanta peach or Georgia peach, but just a nice peach. It does go away, but if you like peach, it's a wonderful thing in the morning. If you don't like peach, skip it. that was also just stood out for this month and this year, actually. All right, and then we go on to December, just a couple of things, and both of them happen to be highlighters. It was the holidays, time for highlighters, right? Japanesque sold, I know that it's sold at Ulta. I don't know where else, I'm sure online. They came out with a holiday trio of highlighters, and they were called the Kumadori Highlighting Trio. All three of them were great colors, no glitter, normal, easy to use, blended out beautifully. If you accidentally put too much on, as I did once, easy to just brush away. These were, I don't think I own any cosmetic product. I don't think I own anything. Way back in the day, I had their brushes. I don't think I own anything else by Japanesque. Tweezers? No. Truly, they're not around anymore. They were just, you know, one of those holiday kind of things. But if you ever have the opportunity, I believe they sell their highlighters in singles. And you're wondering, very good. And then the last thing was, again, a highlighter. And this one just took the cake for the entire year of all the highlighters I bought. Well, let's not go that far. But I bought, you know, it was a highlighter kind of year, right? The Becca in Vanilla Quartz. It was newly launched at the end of the year, that color. I have many Becca highlighters. The Vanilla Quartz is a perfect color on me. Perfect. So that's that. Thanks. Do you want to come say hi? You want to come say hi? Come here. Come here. Come here. No, come up here. Come up here. Come on. You see his bone in his mouth? You cutie pie. Anyway, and you've heard him chomping in the background. And thank you so much for joining me. Please do check out Leah. Again, I think she did both cosmetics and skincare. And I hope this gives her the boost she needs to get back doing YouTube videos. She's just very soothing and just a good person. I love watching people that that I know that are good people and doing this to have a little fun and, you know, just kind of therapeutic. At least for me, it's therapeutic. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.